The views and opinions expressed on the following show do not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the Best Station.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comicasters Issue 11. I am your co-host, MC Brown.
I'm Eric Lindeberg.
Guest co-hosting here, the Doctor of Baseball, joining us from the Fast Pitch. Thank you very much for joining us.
Always happy to be here, MC.
So, helping us out, as always, the Doctor has been on the last couple of issues here as kind of a bookend here for our Day 4 Phoenix Comic-Con interviews, and we got a great show lined up here, one for all the great fans here, Doctor.
Yes, we do, so, and I'm getting to enjoy this more and more, MC.
Yes, it's going to be a great one. We got the great Barry Kitson will be joining us on this show. And as always, we can be reached at Comicasters on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/the Comicasters. As always, we can be reached Comicasters@gmail.com, where we can receive any and all questions, concerns that you want to ask privately, not on social media. And, of course, under the guise of our great producer, Craig Best, we are, as always, on www.thebeststation.net, the very best station and the very best producer.
Agreed.
So we're going to jump right in here, Doc. As staple here, we have a social media round of questions, and as we usually do, we have a great listener, Jen H., and she's got a couple questions for us here. As you remember, in issue 9, she asked a question about the Flash, basically how we felt about Grant Gustin not being chosen to be the actor. It was Ezra Miller who will be the Flash on the movie, as he appeared in a special cameo in Dawn of Justice, Batman vs. Superman. So Jen asks, why do I hear they are going to use Stephen Amell to play Arrow in the movie, referring to Justice League,
right,
but they won't use Grant for the Flash? Stephen Amell was upset about it. So I think what Jen is referring to is a recent article and comments came out that Stephen Amell was he plays Arrow,
right,
on the TV show Arrow. Now, he is very vocal that they did not use Grant Gustin, who plays the TV Flash. Unfortunately, Jen, I don't know where you got some of the info. I believe it was pretty much stated that unfortunately none of the TV actors are going to be used for the movie ones. They're keeping the universes separate.
Right.
I don't know if that means, they just don't want to have any confusion or carryover storylines, but that includes Stephen Amell. So the latest or biggest rumor we hear is the Sons of Anarchy actor,
Charlie
Hunnam, as the doctor said there. He's actually been rumored to be connected to the Green Arrow role. And,
I know Charlie Hunnam's work. I have for years, and I think he'd be an outstanding choice for that role.
Yeah, and he looks the part. I mean, obviously he's had the goatee and the blonde hair. And it has appeared pretty prominently in Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. He was also in the movie Cold Mountain, played a very memorable part in there.
Yeah, I have not seen that. Evidently, there's a chance that he may abandon, I guess, the upcoming role he might have in Pacific Rim 2 to actually take Green Arrow's role in Justice League, Jen. So that could be the Green Arrow in the movie. So, and people who are fans, I don't know if Jen is fans of Sons of Anarchy. I know you have watched the show in the past.
Absolutely.
I've not seen it, unfortunately.
And I will say this, one of the main reasons I continued to watch was Charlie Hunnam's performance.
So, yeah, I'll look forward to that. It sounds like he would be probably a great Green Arrow for the show. Yeah, so it's not going to be Stephen Amell, unfortunately, Grant Gustin. Stephen Amell was vocal about Grant, not being used for the Flash, but unfortunately, they're not going to use the TV characters. Sadly enough, Doctor, and this has happened already due to the Suicide Squad movie and such, the Arrow TV show has been affected as they've been mandated to take some of the characters they've had on their show that might be appearing in the movie universe and actually make them disappear, so to speak. I guess it's safe to
Yeah,
say. Which means basically, quote unquote, kill them off.
Right.
So they have. I mean, it's hard to believe that they actually really killed Black Canary. Again, I when the seasons are over, I usually try to either binge watch them or wait for the Netflix to do it.
Right.
Unfortunately, hopefully this isn't a spoiler for anybody that. If it is for Arrow, if you have not seen the latest season of Arrow, I suggest that you pause the show right now or skip ahead if you can. Black Canary was unfortunately killed on the show, and she was recently rumored to be, a couple. I think the Mad Max Fury Road, one of the girls from there, was rumored to be Black Canary in the Justice League movie. That's why she was killed in the show. So,
and there are a lot of reasons that we don't know about until afterwards that these things happen.
Yeah, they don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to confuse this. So basically, their thoughts on it are no confusion. TV version, get that character off the table. Give us time to reestablish this character in the movie. May not be a popular decision with fans of the show, but unfortunately, the movies are a little bit more important in Warner Brothers' eyes. So. That is what's really going to be happening. It does come down to
finances, too.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing. So, yes, thank you for the question, Jen. She also had another one, talking now Marvel-wise. So, Jen asked, so Deadpool 2 will be coming out, referring to the sequel that's guaranteed to happen now. Fox made a lot of money on Deadpool. The rumors have it, the rumors will it be Cable, as stated in the after-credit scene. Who do you want? Jen asks, who do you want to play him? I heard Ron Perlman and Dolph Lundgren could play him. Who would be good between the two? And she's referring to the futuristic mutant Cable. I don't know if you're familiar with that character, Doctor, but that's the son of X-Men characters, Cyclops and Jean Grey. And Cable's a futuristic dystopian future, and he's somehow going to make it into Deadpool, probably coming back in time for some reason.
Boy, I would, if it was just me making that call, I'd probably go with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, I would say so too. Ron Perlman has a unique look. He was perfect for Hellboy, but
yes,
I don't know if Ron has the right look, I would say, for Cable, because Cable isn't, I don't want to say Ron Perlman is a beast by any means, but or hideous. But I would say Cable kind of still has kind of a. I know he's got the scar and a metallic arm, but he still kind of has a ruggedly handsome look, I guess, to use it, the silver hair. So Dolph would be good to continue some of the discussions. Jen, we actually. I just recently have to post an article on the Facebook page as well, where Jen sent these questions in. To just go down some of them, Arnold Schwarzenegger was one mentioned. I don't know if he may be a little bit too well known for it.
He's also a bit long in the tooth to be doing these things.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, certainly, I'd
like to see?
That would bring a lot of notoriety to it. What?
Remember the original Frank Miller Sin City movie? The Mickey Rourke character, the way he looked there? I'd love to see Mickey again.
Yeah. I don't know if he would fit that. I mean, he'd be crossing over from the Marvel Universe.
Right.
Some of the names that fans might be familiar with attached to this might be Stephen Lang. Mm-hmm. He was one. His name is attached. John Hamm.
John Hamm would be an interesting choice.
So a couple of those guys mentioned. Kurt Russell even.
Wow.
And I don't know. He would certainly have to pack on some pounds because Cable's a pretty huge character in the comics.
But they're talking about some big names here.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Between the two, I would definitely say Dolph. The last, he's going to be in the second, I think it's the second, Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, okay.
Because Arnold couldn't do it. So he'd still look pretty big. So I could see probably him pulling it off over Ron Perlman.
I believe so, too.
So if you're to do that, So great questions, Jen.
Yeah,
thank you,
Jen. Thank you, Jen, for listening, and we appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, definitely. We got a couple more, Doc, questions from some fans here. Cap for Life USA asks, what are your thoughts on Cap's mind control via cosmic cube implanted memories, I think, by the Red Skull? So this was revealed. I don't know, Doc, if you heard this was all over the news with fans going crazy that Captain America was the all along supposed to be a hidden spy for Hydra, which
I have heard about
Marvel
this.
Universe equivalent of the Nazis, I guess.
I mean, as you know, I'm not as up to speed on these things as you, but I have heard about this.
Yeah,
that's how much it's got around.
So what happened now is in issue 2, this is what Cap for Life USA is talking about. Issue 2 reveals that this is why Cap was seemingly a Hydra agent. He thinks he is because the Red Skull is basically controlling him, which is a little bit of a technicality from what the writer said. But I can't even hold the writer to these things. It's like, do you want me to? If I'm the writer, do you want me to reveal all the beats and twists to my stories? Of course, I'm going to lie and tell you otherwise.
Absolutely.
Even if it was close to the fans thought about it. So, like we talked about on a previous show, I want to say it was possibly issue 6. Excuse me, I believe it was a show with special guest Dan Quiroga and Michael Bernstein. I think that was issue 6. We talked about that and fans overreacting. It's a gimmick.
Right.
It's a gimmick. It's,
absolutely.
It's something they're using to capture the fans. And the fact that probably not diehard fans that know that every twist and story, sometimes deaths are not even permanent in comics, they don't realize that this was not going to be the case. This wasn't going to last. Captain America was not going to be Hydra or Nazis, as they've been accused of. It's just a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
This twist in there, my thoughts on it is doesn't surprise me. I think it's used for a gimmick. It got people talking. It got people to look, maybe hopefully sample the comic and not just boycott it.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
And I think that's controversial is what it is. Who was thinking about Captain America and the controversy much outside of the #1? This wouldn't have been mainstream news had this not been in there.
And it's definitely made mainstream news.
Yeah, so Marvel's defense, it worked.
Yes.
So I would say good, because Cap shouldn't be a Hydra or Nazi sleeper agent. And it just, I think, if anything, elevates the Red Skull and his villainy. Going on to the next one, Doc, the last one we have on our social media around here, by @Marvel Zombie, which spelled XOMBI.
Zombie.
Yes. What are the chances Marvel is forming a team group of young heroes with the Divided We Stand image that was recently released, which includes, I believe it's a new War Machine, and I think her name is Riri. She's replacing a character created in Civil War II, and it's a double and a question. The Marvel Zombie also asks any thoughts on War Machine's death, which happened in Civil War II, which kind of caused the rift between female Captain Marvel and Tony Stark in there. So I'm not a fan of that, just being a longtime fan of War Machine. I know he had the crippling effect in Civil War, the movie, and evidently I think it was Brian Michael Bendis said that was unrelated, but he went through with this, what happened to War Machine in this film. Killing off a minority character, I'm not a fan of that either. I know that's been a big contentious for discussion, but the Riri character that Bendis has created in this story is a African-American girl who looks like, according to the image that Marvel Zombie's talking about too, is going to take over War Machine armor of some sort. So you're replacing one with another.
Right.
A lot of times War Machine has been looked at as kind of the black Iron Man, so to speak. So, but he's still unique character and long history and Iron Man title. This goes back to the Cap as a Hydra agent. I don't think you're going to see War Machine dead forever. Maybe it's a chance to introduce this Riri character as a War Machine, but hopefully James Rhodes is not permanently gone. That's one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe. So that's my thoughts on the War Machine death. I would normally probably be up in arms, but I think everything goes around comes around in comics. So the chance of the teen young heroes, I think it's a really good chance. I think what they're doing is clearly separating a line of veteran Marvel, hero characters, and then you got the younger hero characters. I don't know if that's going to be a new Young Avengers title or what that's going to happen, Marvel Zombie, but I will say that it's an interesting image that they teased there, and it's going to give you a choice. If you want the Avengers that are the veteran Avengers, and you have maybe a new Young Avengers that's spinning out of Civil War II here, then I think it gets people talking and a little interesting. I think the younger legacy characters is being stressed in DC Comics a lot. This could be Marvel's answer to that.
Right.
Yeah. So great questions by Marvel Zombie, Cap for Life USA, and Jen H. We appreciate it, as always, here on the Comicasters.
Great feedback.
We encourage that, and let us know at Comicasters, Twitter, Instagram, Comicasters@gmail.com, or Facebook.com/Comicasters. Send us a message. Any of those places, and we'll be happy to answer them.
Right.
So, Doc, we're going to get to our Riddle Me This before the station break, and then we're going to obviously go to our great interview with Barry Kitson.
Right.
And Barry, the British comic legend, known for a lot of his work on DC titles like Legion, Legion of Superheroes itself, JLA Year One, Brave and the Bold, which starred Flash and Green Lantern, The Order with Matt Fraction. Just a lot of great work. I say that in an interview as well, kind of run down his.
That was really cool that you were able to interview him.
Yeah, so here's the thing with Barry Kitson is a huge legend, and this doesn't underscore the other guests at all. A lot of the interview requests, unfortunately, Doc, as we know, and I don't hold this against them, some of them just don't have time.
Right.
But Barry, very gracious to even give us a little bit of his time, and this was an exciting interview for me. Hopefully I didn't fanboy out too much and stuff. I was very excited to talk to Barry because I grew up reading a lot of his stuff, and
right.
and I own a lot of comics that Barry drew, and just an incredible artist, very gracious, has a great reputation as being one of the nicest guys in the industry, and I can easily see why meeting him. So this is a great interview, and I'm excited to bring it to all the fans.
I'm sure they're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, so I'm going to give the Riddle Me This. We're going to, after it, we're going to go to our great, we're going to go to station break, pay the bills, courtesy of Craig Best. When we come back, we'll have that interview with the great Barry Kitson, and then come back and we'll discuss it a little bit further here if you don't mind sticking around, Doc.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind a bit.
So here it is. Riddle Me This. I am one of the founders of Boom Studios. In 2003, I wrote the modern origin of Superman. I had an 8-year run writing the Wally West version of Flash and co-created Impulse. I am best known as the writer of works such as JLA Year One and the critically acclaimed Kingdom Come. Riddle me this. Who am I? We'll find out. Not after this station break. After the second station break.
You've got me with this one, I'm telling you.
Riddle
I thought I had it for a minute.
And we'll be back with the great Barry Kitson.
The Comicasters will return after these words.
Hi there. Judging by the thousands of membership applications that are pouring in, a lot of you must be organizing Space Cadet squadrons. And that's a great idea. You can get together for meetings to watch the program on Saturday mornings and plan your own projects. And we'd like to hear about your Space Cadet doings. But right now, Astro and TJ and I want to urge everybody who hasn't already done it to hurry up and send for your membership kit. And here's what you get. The official Academy ring, exactly like mine, with a Space Cadet insignia die-cut and finished in gleaming gold. The handsome stainless steel expansion band makes it fit any finger comfortably. And you get this official shoulder patch, too, embroidered in red and yellow on navy blue Sanforized twill. You can have it sewed right on your shirt or jacket, the way mine is, because it's guaranteed washable. And you get this certificate, too. A certificate of membership that grants you all these Space Cadet rights and privileges. Signed by me as unit leader and countersigned by Captain Strong and Commander Arkwright. Now, here's all you have to do. You send the tab from a bag of Kraft Dairy Fresh caramels or the wrapper from a nickel bar, plus 25 cents to Space Cadet. Box 26, New York 46. Be sure that your name and address are plainly printed or written on a card or paper. Attach the 25 cents with tape and put it in an envelope with a tab or wrapper from any size package of those wonderful, chewy, soft Kraft caramels. The address, Space Cadet, Box 26, New York 46. That's Space Cadet, Box 26, New York 46, New York. And if you sent for your membership kit, but it hasn't come, don't worry. We've been a bit swamped because so many of you have ordered kits, but you won't have to wait long.
Okay, MC Brown back here for Comicasters, here with the great writer, artist, legendary comic icon in the industry with legendary runs on Legion of Superheroes, Azrael, Brave and the Bold Year and JLA Year 1, as well as Amazing Spider-Man, Incredible Hulks, and Fantastic Four, The Order with Matt Fraction, the awesome Barry Kitson. Barry, thank you very much for joining us here.
My pleasure.
Today, sir. How's your con experience been here in Phoenix Comic Con?
It's been very pleasant, thank you. Yeah, yes. very nice people.
Very cool, yes, yeah. We want to thank you for joining us. To just jump right in, Barry, team books, your work always comes back to a lot of just awesome runs, specifically for your character work. I love personally Flash and Green Lantern, JLA Year 1, Legion specifically. Have you enjoyed working on team books more than some of the solo characters, or what do you have a preference either?
I don't think I went into it with a conscious preference.
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing about team books obviously is you get to draw more characters, which is always fun. And I've always liked character interaction. So that's always been a big thing for me.
No, when you mentioned that,
but I mean that's about as scientific as it gets.
Yeah.
The more of my favourite characters I get to draw, the happier I am.
Yes,
basically.
that's right. As we sit here, Barry's working on an awesome piece right now. Just your facial expressions, emotion, and youthful enthusiasm shine through in all of your work.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Which books inspired you as a child? Is there which artists influenced you?
Initially Jack Kirby. He was the first sort of US comic I saw. I grew up in England, and it was so different from anything I'd ever seen. It completely blew me away, and that pretty much was what made me want to be a comic artist. And then through the years, just everybody whose artwork I've enjoyed has influenced and still does inspire me all the time.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, nobody like the King.
I got to meet him, which is one of the most exciting days in my life.
That had to be an honor, to meet him. Yeah, incredible. What projects currently are you working on? Do you have anything specifically you're working on?
I'm only allowed to say that
you can mention, right?
Mark Waid and I are going to be launching a new series at Marvel later this year. It's going to be announced in San Diego.
Nice.
I'm extremely excited about it.
Something to whet the fans' appetites for sure. Out of all the years, created some awesome characters, specifically that I remember and stuff too, especially from the Legion run. Just like nobody can forget the Visage of Stealth with Viral Docs.
Thank you.
Is there a specific character that you enjoyed working on more, or one that you created that you really have a personal attachment to, that you maybe like a Stealth or something, or any other character?
Yeah, I mean,
I
was particularly fond of Stealth, but I mean, I loved all the Legion characters.
Oh, yeah.
I tend to get very emotionally invested with whichever book I'm working on at the time, so it fluctuates. But I have very fond memories of most of the characters I've worked on. I can't really think of. I've been very lucky through all the years. There aren't many books that like I say, I haven't enjoyed. Can we do a slight pause, or do we need to keep going in this? Because
for sure. So, as a staple on our Comicasters, we ask a lot of our regular guests, because we do a semi-regular segment called what we call a Comic Clash, or Comic Clash of the Week, where we ask a guest or panelists, or if you were to pit two characters against each other, rival companies and stuff, who would you choose? We have a villain theme going on right now, so if you were to take a Marvel villain versus a DC villain, for example, or any company that you always wanted to see square off, who would you choose?
You should have given me about a day to think about this.
That's to put you on the spot.
Sorry. Off the top of my head.
We've gotten some diverse answers from a lot of people interviewed too, which is just awesome.
I'm going to have to think about this phrase. Can we come back to that towards the end while I think about it, while we do some other stuff? I'm not good at favourite questions.
That's okay.
I keep constantly changing my mind.
You have to say, you could always change it. out of all the great work and trades that you've read and or would be currently reading, what would be in Barry Kitson's pull list? What would Barry Kitson be reading right now or recommend to young and old readers? What would you highly recommend?
Well, I mean, I would obviously recommend anybody going back and reading all the classic
that's a flight for you.
the issues from, like, you know, Stan and Jack's run on FF and anything from that era I still love. I mean, currently there's a bunch of stuff I really like. Velvet by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting, Lazarus, East of West, lots of the independent books I really like.
Should I forget my toothbrush?
You know, I tend to, you know, recommend things. Again, so you've asked me a favourites question. I'm terrible because I just soak up so much stuff and I love so many things. I absolutely love the whole of Invincible. It was fantastic. Historically, I'd go back to things like Nexus. It was fantastic. American Flag.
If you wanted to capture a fan's attention for the first time and have them fall in love like you did with comics, what would you tell them to read?
Then the drive home, it's like almost 11.
It depends whether I'm being
bunch of crap, and then it's
honest or trying to be intellectual about it. You know, I mean, I still don't think you can beat Stan and Jack's run on the FF. But thinking about, you know, sort of more modern sensitivities and things these days.
I can't make it through the night.
Yeah, what would I recommend? Probably anything that Mark Waid writes. You know, Mark I've worked with for 25 years. And
you just guys have that great chemistry that just makes just magic every time you guys work together.
He just writes comics which I think, you know, get people involved and they move you. There's a lot of stuff these days I find are sort of intellectually very clever, but they don't actually move me. And, you know, as a kid and growing up, and the main thing for me was caring about the characters, and Mark just has a knack for making me care about the characters. Like his run on Daredevil was fantastic. So I'll stop there. But
no, that's great. I mean, I would, especially that's why we're here too. Just recommend anything that you guys did.
And actually, you know, as we're sat next to Kurt here, it reminds me. I mean, Astro City is a great series to get into if you haven't read superhero comics. Fantastic place to start and get a feel for the whole genre.
Yeah, any of the legendary names for sure. Yeah, any of those, and any of those books would be great starts for anybody. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we appreciate it. So, Barry, we're going to wrap it up. We're not going to take too much more time. We appreciate you taking time out of the con schedule to join us.
It's been a pleasure. As you probably gathered, I'm happy to talk at great length about comics at any time to anyone.
Oh yeah, we have the reputation too. The fact that you answered us and stuff, and reputation in the business is being one of the most genuine, nicest guys in the industry, and one of the greatest artists. You know, for any of us who've been reading for a long time, just awesome stuff.
Well, thank you very much.
We appreciate you joining us here on the Comicasters.
It's totally my pleasure. I mean, you know, I still have the enthusiasm and love of comics that I had from when I was a little kid, and you know, if I do anything, I try and, you know, share that with, you know, I honestly think the readers are just as important, if not more important, than we are as creators. You know, it's if I wasn't sat this side of the table, I'd be the other side.
Yeah, without a question. Yeah, I think just to reiterate from earlier, just everything shines through because everything, the emotion and the character's liveliness, obviously, like you said, helps when you have a great writer like Mark Waid. Everything, the emotion of the characters come to life every time I read one of your stories.
Thank you so much.
It's just it's very impressive what you've been able to do for so long and just entertain all of us fans and let us know when we're reading, we're escaping into a world, and you could feel that emotion of the characters. There's very few artists like yourself that can do that and really draw us in and make us feel that story and stuff. And we appreciate that.
Thank you very much. And I've come up with my villains to fight. I'll take Iron Maiden from the Hollywood Thunder Agents versus Black Cat from Spider-Man.
Nice. Okay. All right. So we'll have all the fans vote on a lot of the stuff together, and we'll throw that and we'll see. Yeah, we'll put them all against each other and we'll see what the fans think.
Okay.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much, Barry, for your time. Thank you.
It's been good fun.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the con.
The Comicasters will return after these words.
We got ourselves a broken arrow. That's what we call it when we lose a nuclear weapon. My former commander's trying to steal me. He's dangerous. He's trying to kill me. Well, that doesn't mean I don't like you. He's unpredictable. Friday at theaters everywhere.
And for 1975, these great new characters, astronauts Alan Burton and Pete Burke, and the apes, Galen, grandson of Cornelius, Urko, the vicious soldier ape, and General Ursus, the nemesis of Dr. Zaius and the astronauts. Planet of the Apes Series 2, sold separately by Mego.
Are you looking for special sweet treats for your 4th of July celebration? You still have time to get your mind control candy in cube form. Tasty flavors like Red Skull Raisin, Hydra Green Apple, and Captain America Red, White, and Blueberry. Available right now at stores everywhere, but get them while they last. The 4th is coming.
And we are back on Comicasters issue 11. Can't wait to get some mind control candy, Doctor.
Me too. I'm looking for it in cube form, no less.
Yes, in cube form. So, Doc, we're going to get right into it. We had an awesome interview with Barry Kitson. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Before we talk about that, we just want to get right into this Riddle Me This reveal, Doc. And as we said, one of the founders of Boom Studios and an 8-year run writing Flash. Just so many other guys. I mean, if we ran down all the credentials of the Riddle
that would
Me
take
This
a whole
reveal,
show itself.
It probably would, because this is one of the greatest writers in comics today. Wrote Superman Birthright and Kingdom Come, which is arguably one of his most notable works, especially.
That's the one I'm familiar with.
The great Mark Waid.
Mark Waid
actually wrote a lot of stuff, which a co-creator with Barry Kitson, like the great JLA Year One and stuff. And Barry talks about this. Barry has a upcoming project, as he said in the interview, with Mark Waid, which he couldn't reveal, but will be revealed at the San Diego Comic-Con, which will be coming up, I believe, here in the next month. And we can't wait to hear what this big project is.
Right.
It's for Marvel Comics. And, it's going to be, I believe Barry did one of the initiative, 50-state initiative comics, I believe, too. I don't know if that was with Mark Waid, but Barry's been doing a lot of stuff with Marvel Comics, so this is going to be interesting.
It is, and you know what, I mentioned to you that I've been visiting different comic stores.
Yes.
Things of this nature. I'm impressed at how much this is growing and kind of publicity a guy like Barry's getting. Getting his due, finally.
Yeah, well, I think just legendary British comic artists and your ancestry as well can appreciate just the plethora of talent that comes out of England.
Right.
And Barry, just as we talked about in the first part of the show, too, just genuine one known in the industry as one of the nicest guys, as the fans have just listened to.
Right.
Just really gracious and appreciative, and like I said, he didn't have to join us at all. We didn't have to agree to do the interview, and I was very pleasantly surprised when I got the email back from Barry saying he was excited to talk with me.
That had to be great news when you read it.
Yeah, definitely, and I pleasantly surprised, and he lived up to his reputation for sure.
Right.
Just exciting stuff from Barry, and he talked about what he might have, going, couldn't reveal anything, obviously, with Mark Waid, just a little bit of insight into to Barry, and hopefully you all will look up some of his old works, and that kind of ties into a regular segment here on the Comicasters, Doctor, is recommended reading. So to tie this into Mark Waid and Barry Kitson, I would say if you can get your hands on the trade JLA Year One, that actually is a real fun, kind of great dialogue by Mark Waid, and just, as I mentioned to Barry in the interview, his facial expressions and his art, and just the characters really come to life in the story JLA Year One. And Barry also known for a lot of team books as well, as we talked about, Legion, which is kind of like was the current day version of the Legion of Superheroes, the futuristic team. And I think in anything Barry works on, you could see the facial expressions. I think in JLA Year One, he really kind of knocks it out of the park with Mark Waid. And speaking of Mark Waid, too, my second very recommended reading would be obviously the Kingdom Come. If you have not read Kingdom Come, one of the most legendary stories in trade collections of, and that's done by the great Mark Waid and Alex Ross. So Alex Ross, one of the great painters and mostly known for his cover art,
right,
did the interiors of Kingdom Come.
I'm wondering,
beautiful, beautiful book. Basically.
Yeah, I'm wondering if some of our listeners would like to see a new character or a new series created by M.C. Brown and Eric Lindenberg.
I don't know.
I'd like to
Who's
hear from
going to draw it?
That would be you.
That would be me, and you would write it.
I'd give it a shot, yeah. We'd co-write it.
I don't know, we'd be in the legendary company of Mark Waid and Barry Kitson, but we're definitely excited to see what they have on the docket, Doctor, and no pun intended there, that they will reveal at San Diego Comic-Con. So, to great works by Mark Waid, JLA Year 1, Kingdom Come, obviously Year 1 has art from Barry Kitson, and I highly suggest both of those. I know great listener Jen H. She always looking for great recommended stuff. She's always interacting with us. I highly suggest those, Jen, and Comicasters listeners. If you have not read either one of those, look them up. Amazon, local comic shop preferably. Go to your shop, as the Doctor has been doing, brushing up on his comic history so he can bring some more insight to the show. Definitely, Doc, maybe you should look for these two when you go
I will, as a matter of fact. When is the San Diego Comic-Con? Do you know?
San Diego Comic-Con, at my fingertips I don't have it, but it won't take long.
As you know, I am on assignment frequently for my baseball job, and if I'm there, I'd definitely hit it.
Yes, San Diego Comic-Con traditionally is in early July.
That's what I thought.
Mid-July.
It'd be nice if it's the same week as the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, because I would hit it.
San Diego Comic-Con, or Comic-Con International, as it's called.
It's a big one, I know that. I know Kevin Smith was on a panel there last year that was pretty entertaining. I watched a lot of it on cable.
Yeah,
no place like San Diego.
It's not, the actual date's not pulling up for us. There it is. July 21st through 24th.
24th. Okay.
Preview night, July 20th. So it's actually a little less than a month now as we record this.
I will be in Los Angeles for covering baseball that week.
Down to San Diego.
I will for a day.
We'll suggest to you to be careful because there is large crowds that, especially on something I remember vividly in almost 10 years ago when I was there, is when the Saturday Con let out. It was like the streets of Japan. Everybody.
Oh wow, yeah. And I know where they hold this too.
That, yeah, you know, the convention center. So, yeah, that would be interesting to see some pictures of the Doctor.
I'd like to go there and
wandering the streets of San Diego, San Diego, and entering the Comic-Con. I would be interested to know that.
And I'd say right now the odds are 50-50, maybe getting better.
We will see what happens. To go back to our Comic Clash tracker, Doctor. We're going to add another one, which from the suggestion from the great Barry Kitson, Iron Maiden from the Thunder Agents versus Black Cat was his Comic Clash suggestion. So we're going to throw that with our great suggestions that we said on issue 10, which was we ran down all of them, minus this one, of course.
Right.
And dare I suggest in issue 12, we will tally them all up, this one included, with tease for next show, the suggestions of the great Heath Corson.
Wonderful,
so
fantastic.
Heath will be joining us on issue 12, and Heath, just a great, great guy. We actually have 2 segments with him. Segments 2 and 3 in this double-sized interview with Heath will be dedicated towards us interviewing Heath, and that's Derek Ross and myself sitting down with Heath Corson. Just like this one, day 4 of Phoenix Comic-Con 2016, and we sit down and talk with Keith as the show is winding down, and we could talk to Keith all day. It's just easy to talk to, very cool dude. I told him that himself, just one of our favorites, and we hope to maybe one day be on another panel with Heath. We had enjoyed, as great fans heard on issue 7, we got to sit down on a Suicide Squad panel with Heath, and that was a lot of fun.
I bet it was.
We'll talk a little bit about that and some of Heath's previous projects and hopefully upcoming projects that he can talk about, hopefully. And yeah, so that's going to be a great issue. That's going to be issue 12. And that will wrap up the interviews, too. So we encourage all you great fans to continue and stay with us here, obviously on this third interview show here, and stick with us, because the one with Heath Corson might possibly could have saved the best for last. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's
a
double-sized one.
Everyone's going to enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. So For the Comicasters, I just want to let you know, at Comicasters, Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/Comicasters, Comicasters@gmail.com. And as always, thanks to our great producer, Craig Best. All of our shows are archived on www.thebeststation.net. Click on the Comicasters tab, and all of our shows are archived. Doctor is on a lot of them now.
That's right.
And special thanks to our sister show, our brother show, depending on what you want to call it, The Fast Pitch, and we appreciate their plugs and promotion, and we'd like to do the same back. That stars myself and Dr. Eric Lenneberg talking baseball. So if you have any interest in baseball, please join us on that as well. And that's also
we have something for everybody.
Archived on the Best Station, along with the great music Craig puts up there.
That's right.
We're going to wrap this one up, Doc, for issue 11. This was a great one. We thank Barry Kitson for joining us. Can't say enough great things about the great Barry Kitson. Stay tuned that San Diego Comic-Con for the big news with Mark Waid of the Marvel project they have in the works. So we thank Barry Kitson. And for the Comicasters issue 11,
I'm Eric Lenneberg.
And I am MC Brown. You guys, thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time.
You have been listening to the Comicasters on the Best Station. Thank you for listening, and join us again next time.
You are listening to thebeststation.net, home of the best station, the best music for the best audience. Now featuring the best podcasts for the best audience. With such podcasts as The Fast Pitch, starring MC Brown and Dr. Eric Lenneberg, covering any and all related MLB news and current events. And now featuring The Comicasters, starring MC Brown, Colt Hudson, and Derek Ross. On location for comic book conventions, reviewing comic book trades and collections, and anything and all related comic book movies, news, and events. This is a presentation of thebeststation.net. The Best Station. The best music for the best audience.